In Tennessee tonight, an effort to ban abortions as early as 6 weeks just got the green light from a federal court. Meantime, in Texas, another judge temporarily blocked that state's ban on virtually all abortions. Tonight, we're starting to see these court battles play out across the country in the wake of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. And as Indiana lawmakers get ready to pass a potential ban here, our Rachel Krause talked tonight with local faith leaders about concerns for congregations across our state.
If this ban were to go into effect, we would be prepared to fight on every front.
Rabbi Brett Critchever at the Indianapolis Hebrew congregation says many of his congregants have differing opinions on abortion as a personal decision, but says they are all unified in their belief that access to abortion care should be legal.
If we have to get into a conversation about when life begins, I think we all know that there's enough gray area there that we'll never agree. What this is really about is separating church and state and not advocating the beliefs of one religious community in the government.
Rabbi Critchever says the government should not be able to make this personal choice for a woman. And when it comes to religious texts,
the Jewish community would argue that the Bible states very clearly that an unborn child is more similar to property than it is to a human being. And that really what's at stake here is women's ability to control their own access to health care.
Rabbi Critchever says he doesn't believe the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe would necessarily infringe on religious freedoms. A state ban, on the other hand?
The way that states implement that is very worrisome. So if a state decided to make abortion illegal, we would absolutely argue that that infringed our religious freedoms.
Rabbi Critchever says for decades, the Jewish community has pushed for women's rights, including access to abortion. And he says they stand ready to advocate for a woman's right to choose again if Indiana does ban abortions, as it's expected to do. But he says this issue deserves real debate from the state, one that's inclusive of every belief and every person's individual rights.
We do believe that this issue of separation of church and state is central. We need to make sure that our voices are heard. All of the religious communities and those of us who are not religious as well need to be able to say, this state needs to represent me, these elected officials need to represent me, and to advocate for one religious belief over another is simply un-American.
Tonight, Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is asking federal judges to lift orders blocking several abortion laws in our state. Among them, banning a common second trimester procedure and requiring notifying parents if a court lets a girl under the age of 18 to get an abortion without their consent. The ACLU initially challenged those laws before Roe v. Wade was overturned, saying they are now reviewing the filings.